My wife and I recently did an event at Framingham campus, one of our campuses at our church, and we called it Relationships Uncensored. Now, it was your idea. If you haven't watched some of the videos, go back and watch some of these videos because they are very helpful and have a ton of tools, a ton of practicals. At the conclusion of this, I didn't have enough time to go through it, and so what I want to do is I want to share it with you guys. I basically said, okay, 5 questions you have to ask before you get into a relationship. Before we get into the 5, did you want to highlight or recap anything from that event or plug something that they need to learn, anything they need to watch?
I think the only thing I'd say is pretty much most of what we talked about, you never hear about people talking about in church, or even honestly outside of church. You don't hear really people being that candid about their personal experiences, things that they've learned, things they wished they had heard from other people. And we wanted to really help people by putting as much out there as we could to equip, even maybe help people with some healing. So if you're like, what the heck did they talk about that nobody really talks about, definitely check it out.
Did you feel we were too vulnerable?
No, I think that we were a good...
Was appropriate?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was explicit. We shared a lot of raw information there.
Raw is probably a dangerous term you just used, but yeah.
I mean, we did. We said things unfiltered. We did give a disclaimer before the event started to let everybody know, like, hey, we're gonna go there, and that might make you uncomfortable. We had people giggling.
Seriously, I used the term vagina, and somebody in the crowd goes, ah!
Yeah.
And I found out later it was like chick. It wasn't even a dude.
Yeah.
What the heck?
People get like uncomfortable talking about sex and talking about...
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So at the conclusion of the event, I basically said, okay, before we conclude, before we go into question and answer, I want to ask you a few questions on whether or not you are prepared to walk into a relationship. First question was this, is do I want them or do I want to feel wanted? Do I want them or do I want to feel wanted? Do I really like this person or am I just rejecting loneliness? Like, that is so critical to ask, because I think what it requires is it requires a mirror.
Yeah.
It requires healthy evaluation, internal reflection. I think y'all should get feedback from others on like, am I truly prepared to go into and walk into a relationship? What would you say to that?
Yeah, I think having people to help you discern that is very important. But I think too, the biggest question is exactly what you posed. Am I rejecting loneliness, or do I really actually want to be in a relationship with this person? Do I actually like this person? I think sometimes people are just very quick to they're tired of being alone, they're tired of being single, so they're quick to jump into a relationship, and then it ends up being either a toxic relationship, they're just
catastrophe.
Not happy. There's no joy in that relationship, and
You remember, I told you about this because I had a girl, this literally happened to me. There was a girl who basically came to me and said, Dev, I would rather settle than be single. She goes, I would rather settle for a guy that I know I'm not supposed to be with because I just don't want to be alone. She verbalized that out loud. And honestly, some people that are watching this could judge that girl. I at least think she had the honesty to be able to say that, because whether we say it out loud or not, a lot of us are in this boat.
Yeah. Where
we simply are rejecting loneliness. And so because we're rejecting loneliness, we really don't love this person. We just hate being alone. And so, first question, do I want them or do I want to feel wanted? Second question, are my expectations sabotaging my relationship before it even starts? Are my expectations sabotaging my relationship before it even starts? I remember we were in Foxborough. Do you remember this? We were in Foxborough. We were at, was it Toby Keith's? Way back in the day when we were dating.
Okay.
And we talked through all of our expectations, and we talked through the major ones. Okay, what about boundaries with families? What about sex? What about future kids? What about weekly date nights, monthly date nights? And we just walked through all this kind of stuff when it comes to expectation management. And I find that there are a lot of people that if you're only talking amongst yourself, you're only doing internal conversation and dialogue without some external help, I think you're gonna get into some trouble, because a lot of people, my son's walking in the background right now. Is that Zion or is that Ezzy?
It's Zion.
Zion, just come in the video, come here.
He has donut icing all over his face.
Zion, come here. What do you need? Are you gonna speak?
What's up?
Don't give everybody my password.
I'm just looking at it.
I wonder if he was going to ask you if he could download another game.
I think that's what was happening.
And then he cracked under pressure.
Did you see him dip under?
I see him over here in the corner. I'm like, he's gonna go under. And then he goes up and he goes right up.
Are my expectations sabotaging my relationship before it even starts? I think a lot of people, I've preached this for years, even a great person is still a terrible Jesus. So as a result, what I think happens is we think that this person is going to complete me. They are going to fulfill me. They are going to, in some senses, whether we say this out loud or not, conscious or subconscious, this person's gonna save me.
Yeah.
They're gonna save me from myself. They're gonna save me from these feelings. They're gonna save me from feeling like I can finally be validated by everybody else. I can be validated by the world because now I'm married or now I'm in a relationship. I think those expectations will either keep you from a healthy relationship or they'll keep you in a toxic one, because your expectations can sabotage so much.
Yeah, or even just like, you know, people who can't seem to maintain a relationship. Like you see those people who seem to just bounce around from relationship to relationship. I think a lot of that is that, like, who wants to stick around and be in a relationship with someone who makes them feel like all that pressure is on them to perform and be this like perfect significant other partner.
That's right.
Like you said, they're not Jesus. They can't do that for you.
They're not a
so
savior.
Yeah, they're not a savior. So when you have those expectations, even if you don't intentionally have those expectations, but you project that on your partner, that's what they're gonna feel that. And eventually they'll crack under that pressure. You'll be disappointed. They won't want to continue the relationship anymore. They'll end things. So then you're in this cycle of jumping from relationship to relationship because you can't make anything work, or you're settling for a toxic relationship or an unhappy one.
And it just doesn't have to be that way. So it leads us to number 3. Are my expectations born of the flesh or born of the spirit? Are they born of the flesh or are they born of the spirit? Meaning that you can have preferences. I don't think that's a wrong thing at all. You need to be attracted to somebody. You can have preferences for what kind of person, what type of role. But to be honest, I just think it's absolutely mind-blowingly crazy how often people prioritize their preferences over God's standards. So character, ethics, morality, godliness, humility, these are traits born of the Spirit. I'm not even saying bad ones when it comes to preferences. I'm saying good ones can become, we have to make a delineation between what is a God expectation and what is a good expectation.
Yeah.
Good expectation as in, you know, they gotta be tall, they gotta be over 6 feet, they gotta make a certain tier of money. And I think these things are okay. I don't think they're necessities though.
Yeah, they're not deal breakers.
Because when Natalia and I started dating, getting committed to each other.
He wanted someone who was 6 feet tall and
No, I did not. I did not want a 6 foot tall.
someone who could be your shoulder
I don't want
mama.
an Amazon. Yeah, right. That's the last thing I
Take
need.
care of you financially.
I definitely wanted a domesticated wife. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. My mom used to say all the time.
Joke's on him.
What are you talking about? You're pretty.
I'm just joking, babe.
I mean, anyways, before I get in trouble.
Describing my future.
Yeah. No, my mom used to say this all the time. She's like, because of my nature, she goes, you watch, you're going to have a woman who is not, can't cook, who can't clean. I'm like, I rebuke you in Jesus' mighty name, Mom. Anyways, I got blessed with that, thank God.
Yeah, but I also helped to shape you into the man you are today.
You did, 100%. Are you talking about dishes? Is that what you're referencing?
I mean, you've definitely like
I've
stepped
never been
up.
messy, but I wasn't
No,
necessarily.
you wouldn't like take initiative to like clean up the house or clean. I mean, you've come such a long way with that. Like you've become more domesticated. You like to cook.
That's the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard in my life.
How is that disrespectful?
I've become more domesticated? Scrub that from the freaking tape, bro. I don't worry.
What do you mean? Why is that such a bad thing?
I just feel like that just hurt.
I think that it's important for men to know how to be domesticated because if you can't,
Ugh.
you sound like such a macho idiot.
I thought you were going to say macho man. I was going to say thank you. And then you said idiot. Are your expectations born of the flesh or are they born of the spirit?
He can take care of a home and he can cook, So yes, you should be proud of that because a lot of men can't say that.
Yes, I can do that. I can also do my own laundry.
Yes, you do your own laundry. Not you you do.
I actually enjoy grocery shopping.
He loves grocery shopping.
But if you ever say I'm a domesticated man one more time,
I said
we are getting into a physical altercation.
I said you've become more domesticated. I did not say, oh yeah, he's the stay-at-home husband and dad. I didn't say that. Which, listen, let me say, there's nothing wrong with that because that is a lot of freaking work.
Stay-at-home dads?
To stay at home and take care of, manage a household. That's a lot of work.
For dads?
Kids.
You think men should do that?
I'm not saying men should do that. I'm saying that it's a lot of work, period. So I'm not I'm not attacking people who do that.
I think it's a tough job, but I don't think men should be doing that.
Yeah, because women are more capable of doing it.
Are your expectations born of the flesh or born of the spirit? Number 4.
What happens when you flow?
Number 4. Are they my possible soulmate? Are they my possible soulmate? Do you remember a definition of soulmate?
Healthy for your soul, necessary for your assignment.
So, we've been teaching this for a long time. A soulmate, are they healthy for your soul? Necessary for your assignment. So, there's 2 indicators here. I understand what my soul is, and I understand what my assignment is. Soul, mind, will, emotions. Some people would say dreams and imaginations. That is the soul. It's the makeup of the soul. My mind, will, emotions, dreams, imaginations. Essentially, you know you. You know you. So you're self-aware. But then also, you know your assignment. What is God calling you to do? If you don't have a vision, you should not have a mate. You should not have a partner until you get your vision, until you see what your future looks like. And Scripture says the people stumble all over themselves if they have no vision, or they cast off restraint. So what is the vision for your life? You
Can
need
I
to get
add
that from the
something
Lord.
to that?
Yeah.
I think sometimes people think that their person is their vision. Like, I think sometimes people will be like, you know, you are my dream. You are what I've been praying for and asking for, and like base their whole entire future around that person. And I have to say, you will be sorely disappointed shortly after you get into the rhythms of marriage. Not because marriage is wonderful.
I feel like that was a shot at me, but.
It's not a shot at you. Not everything's about you.
Oh my God, that's a shot at me now.
Because you think everything is personal.
I was just being funny and facetious, but my God, you actually turned it offensive. Dang.
What I was going to say before you interrupted me is I think that people have it goes back to expectations, right? You think that this person is like, they're what I've been dreaming of. They're my hope. They are like everything and more. That's my future right there, that person. And then what they don't realize is after you get married, you go through so many different seasons. You know, you could go through a financial crisis with that person. You could go through kid issues, maybe infertility issues, or challenging children, or whatever the case may be, challenging in-laws, maybe life is not the way you thought it was gonna go. And then your vision quickly becomes your worst nightmare. Like your dream, what you were hoping for is—
That's a bar, babe, that was fire.
Very quickly it becomes the thing that you've been dreading would happen, you wish had never happened. And I think if you base your whole future around that person, that's where you're gonna be let down. That person's supposed to come alongside you and help make your future, your dreams and your visions happen. That's where you can dream together and build together, but that person shouldn't be the dream.
Fire. So what I got from that is basically, as a recap, when you get into marriage, you're gonna be sorely disappointed is what I heard from the whole thing that you just said. So I don't know. The rest of that thing
I'm
is—
sorry, I forgot you were so sensitive.
Oh, don't you dare talk down to me. I'm a domesticated man. This video is going down the drain. Last one, final one. Is my life in order? Am I mature enough to join together with another person? Is my life in order, and am I mature enough to join together with another person? Matter of fact, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a whole video on that one question. But I hope these 5 questions have helped you when it comes to identifying going into this next season in a romantic relationship. We love you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share this video with somebody if it was helpful for you.